am going to teach you how to sugar wax. First up will be how to make the sugar wax. If you already know that, go ahead and skip ahead to the next chapter where I will be ripping out full-grown hair from my legs. If you're anything like me, you've spent a lot of time on YouTube looking up videos on how to sugar wax. These videos always come up short because they show the sugar wax on already hairless skin. It's like, that's not, I wanted to see it in action. I wanted to see what other women's hairy legs looked like. That was always a thing. Like, I was always looking to compare myself to other women and see what their legs look like hairy. Well, ladies, if that's you, you are in luck because the last time I did this was about 2 years ago. You know, this is kind of a thing for me. I don't believe in women needing to be hairless. I don't believe hairiness is a masculine trait or feminine trait. To be hairy is a human trait. Let me just get that through your noggins. So especially if you are a younger girl trying to look up these videos like I used to in my younger years, please know you do not need to feel any shame towards your body hair. And that is why I am going to embarrass myself and give you guys close-up view at my leg hair. That way you can see what my 2-year grown hair is like. Compare it to yourselves. That's what I was always looking for, so I hope this can be a help to you. So I haven't shaved in the last 6 years, I believe. Only off and on have I sugar waxed my legs. I've spent a good many years being a hairy girl out in public. And it has been extremely hard, I will tell you that, because nobody else does this, but I really believe in it. And so if that's the case, why do I sugar wax my hair occasionally? Since the last time was almost 2 years ago, it's like I kind of view it as a spring cleaning in a way. I don't really mind how the hair looks, especially once you have hairy legs for a long time. They end up getting lighter in color and they also get worn. If you're wearing pants all the time and the pants are rubbing on your legs, your leg hair is going to get worn out. So eventually over the years, it just gets thinner and thinner instead of thick, lush, healthy hair. So why do I say spring cleaning? You are gonna love this. This sugar wax, to me, the main benefit is the exfoliating abilities. It gets rid of all my dead skin cells and it's so amazing, and my skin feels really good after that. Yesterday I did one leg. I wasn't even planning on it. It just kind of happened. Then I was like, you know what? Why don't I film me doing the other leg? Because that could be kind of fun. I'm gonna try to do like slow-mo ripping ASMR horrible horror story stuff. Yesterday when I did it, the balls of wax afterward were gray instead of honey color. That's how much dead skin cells it ripped off. Absolutely disgusting, but people liked seeing disgusting things, so what you gonna do? So the instructions. You need a pot, you need 1 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and a 1/4 cup of water. And that's it. And preferably a glass dish. Put in all your ingredients, and I like to stir it at the initial point to make sure all the sugar is coated in the liquid so it won't burn. Then you put it on like medium-high heat. It took mine about 15 minutes to be ready. But you want to be nearby and watching it like a hawk, especially closer to the end of 15 minutes, because you don't want it to burn. This is the trickiest part for me. Having a candy thermometer would be ideal, but I don't have that. If you have that, you can look up the temperatures you should be looking for in your humidity levels. Make sure it's well lit, like put your overhead stovetop light on, because you really want to be able to see the color after it's boiling for a while is going to change. Now, as you see, it's getting really bubbly. This is why I like using a large pot. When I use a smaller pot, the bubbles get really high up and almost overflow, and it's also hard for me to tell the color difference in that. So I like to use a big pot, and it's really handy. This one has a white bottom because it's easier to tell the color difference. And I'm not sure, I might have waited a bit too long on this one. It's a little dark and it looks a little unevenly heated, unfortunately. But as soon as you see it turn that like nice caramel color, and it seems like it'll take forever to get there, but just keep being patient, As soon as you see that beautiful honey caramel color, turn off the heat, and you're gonna wanna have your glass dish at the ready. Make sure you heat up your glass dish first, because if you just pour that hot wax into it, it could explode and injure you. I run it under some hot water for a while and make sure the inside is dry. All right, pour that sugar wax in there and let it cool for, I don't know, like 2 hours. It can be really hot in there. The top might feel good, and then you reach in there and get to the hot middle and burn yourself. So be very careful. Be very careful. I don't want you to burn yourself. Make sure you let it cool properly. Now, while that's cooling, I do have some leftover sugar wax from yesterday's batch, and I think I'm going to try to use this up. I don't know, I probably didn't make it properly because I'm going to need to pop it in the microwave for maybe 20 seconds to warm it up again, because it's like solid rock. I can never perfect the consistency. If you mess up a batch, you can just make another one. It's a cup of sugar and some lemon juice. You know, it's not all that expensive, so that's really nice. Or if it's not perfect, pop it in the microwave for a little bit. It'll help you out, but be careful, it does get hot again. Now to the juicy bit, the actual ripping out of the hair. And I believe this is the opposite way of normal waxing. Don't go from like top to bottom. Go against the grain of your hair, and then you rip it back down. And of course, you try to go fast. If you're worried about pain, it does hurt. You kind of get used to it, you know. The longer strips you use, the more it's gonna hurt. I like doing small areas. I can control it a lot better. I can hold that skin taut, which makes it hurt less. Then I'm able to make sure when I rip, it's all that same speed. It's not a varying speed, because when you go slower, it hurts. But that being said, I don't mind the pain. I kind of like the pain. It's a great way to just like wake you up, and you just feel really refreshed. It is messy. I try my best to just use one hand, but eventually you'll get sticky. Nice thing about sugar wax though, it's just gonna dissolve if you have warm or hot water on you. So all you need is some hot water and it'll dissolve right off of you, and that's the extent of your cleanup. All right, enough gabbing. Let's do this. You ready to see my hairy legs? I don't think you are. Here's old wax. It's not amazing wax, but if you work it a little bit, it'll get okay. Here we go. You see the skin cells already in there. There. I look like a freshly plucked chicken. That's not perfect, and I'll probably touch it up some. After a day, I'll look like this side. And I could try to do some of the thighs, but when the hair is this fine, it doesn't really work so well. And besides, I really like my thigh hair. And the backside of the calves is always the hardest because it goes in, at least on my leg, it goes in a sideways pattern, and it's really hard to pull it in the right direction. I have to get all contorted. It's like, why do we do this to ourselves? It makes absolutely no sense to me. I know it's like a cultural thing now, but I wish it never started. This is clearly mutilation of oneself. Why is there always so much pressure? I'm sure there wasn't at the beginning of the world. It's just natural. Nothing to be ashamed of. It has turned into a point of shame for absolutely no reason. I actually don't like how I look like this. It really creeps me out, and it seems really weird, and I don't like it. Actually, my husband doesn't like it. He got really weirded out as well. But the nice thing is, this will always grow back. Usually I regret whenever I sugar wax my legs, mostly because I mess it up and it's painful and it's a lot of work. But I am really happy that I got all those dead skin cells off. And you know, sometimes it's just so much easier to not be different. And that's okay. I've been having a lot of like stress in my head about, you know, summer coming and worrying about what people think, and a lot of the times I'm fine. Like, just like, I don't care what they think, and I really don't believe in shaving or waxing or whatever, you know. But sometimes the stress about people looking at me like that can be so overwhelming that it's like there's no point to put that stress on me. It'll always grow back. I'm not a failure for doing this, you know, even though I can feel like it.